Fist bump between the pair of them. John Chambers to break, and little surprise that he's sticking with that cut break. Ever since it gave him a golden break in set 2 of his semi-final against 𝗍𝗑𝗏, he's not deviated. And why would you? Why would you?
I wasn't far away from giving him one there, but it's as good a layout as you could ever wish for to start a final. These are just perfect. I mean, the connections, the wide open, the reds have gone out the way. Just a clear path on the yellows here. This should be 1-0 coming up very shortly.
Yellow ball's in play.
Slightly careless of he's left this straight and hampered to go up the table, but he's got all the room in the world. Yeah, so slightly careless to leave that. Puts more pressure on the next shot, but truth, he shouldn't miss it.
Lovely shot. The voice you could hear in the background there. The distinctive voice of his brother Rob Chambers, who's here in the crowd. As usual with Rob, you can usually hear him before you see him. And he'll be right behind his kid brother tonight. The perfect start in the final, no question about it. Hammer break. And in goes the 8. John Chambers is 1-0 up in the first set. That dynamic that we touched on just before we came into the table live feels like this set is much bigger for John Chambers than it is for this man, because of that advantage that he seems to hold in the 6-red shootout. It's almost like going into a cup final ahead on goal difference. Bit of a cheat code. Ooh, that cue ball was being flown all over the place, but he's okay. Whether he's got a first shot, though, is a different question. He might have landed in the only place on the table where he can't pot a ball. Has he got anything? I don't think he's got anything at the bottom of the table, and I'm not sure he has anything at the top either.
Very tough, isn't it? Wasn't his best break, in all honesty. He's probably the worst he's hit it all night long. Has to turn the table over. Not what he wanted. Wanted to respond.
Now then, does John Chambers take the bait, or does he play the waiting game?
Slightly loose shot, that one. Or is it a loose shot, or is he trying to tease Declan into going reds here? The reason I thought it was a loose shot is I just felt that Declan would be interested in reds, but he's now going to end up, if he wants to go reds, leaving the red that's really awkward at the bottom with the ball that he would have used to break it out.
Exactly. Yeah, not buying what John's selling.
Yellows are okay here. Yellows are a chance. This yellow goes in the left centre. There's only one breakout required. Is John now tempted? He's a very aggressive player normally.
There's your answer. We'll need to play a couple of big-time shots here.
Didn't quite get the red moved. If it goes an extra roll on the red, then he's on the yellow to bottom left, but it, you know, worst case, he's opened up to bottom right. He's not got a great option next shot now. So maybe another safety. Yeah, and it's a good one this time. Well, the last one kind of gave him an opportunity, so to say, a couple of good safety shots.
That's an excellent cue ball he's played. Really, really excellent cue ball. Not bad from Declan either.
Has he gone too far and opened up the yellow left centre? I think he has. He was conscious of not moving the red away to open up the yellow. He just let the cue ball go too far.
Yeah, there you go, it's on. And he could get up to the top of the table. John Chambers is in business. The yellow at the bottom of the table is obviously still a problem, but the yellow just to the west of it is a great breaker ball. He will want to deal with that sooner rather than later. He'd love to leave the yellow to sort of the one that sort of looks naturally to left centre available still. So this is the key shot here on the transition.
Yeah, get on the yellow, and he's gone for the breaker there. I'm surprised. I thought he might just come down the table and leave the yellow. He's actually been a little bit fortunate to land in an angle to do it again.
He's been very fortunate. Yeah, how about second prize? He can have another go at it essentially. 2 bites at the apple for John Boy.
That's awkward though.
Oh, it's not just awkward. It's dead in the water.
Needed to hit that much fuller. Needed the cue ball to stay down there.
Only yellow you can see. He can't pop. I say he can't pop. He's going to try.
8 balls in the way.
Yeah, I said he was going to try. I didn't say it was going to be easy.
That's true. It's definitely not easy.
It's very, very tough. It's to load up here. A lot of side. Oh, it's a pretty good effort, in truth.
Yeah, they're just going to check whether this is a foul or not, because it hit the cushion before it flicked the yellow.
And 𝗏𝗏𝗃𝗏 did call that yellow frozen to the cushion.
Oh, did he? Okay,
did.
that makes a big difference, because I was pretty sure it went onto the cushion. But if it was frozen, then it's definitely a foul. If it's frozen, it's a foul. So it's
and I think our timer out there in the arena has just helped the referee, almost as an assistant referee would, with that call. Yeah, 𝗏𝗏𝗃𝗏 did call that ball as frozen, which essentially means it's already deemed to have hit a cushion. So you have to hit another cushion after you've hit that ball, if that makes sense.
It just didn't make much difference, though, anyway, in terms of John would have felt that was going to cost him the frame anyway, that the red passed the yellow. It wasn't going to be difficult from where the cue ball had finished for Declan to have the same level of opportunity, where he just has to make sure he lands nicely on the 8 ball. The yellow's guarding it, but not by much. Always wanted to leave this one as his last ball. He'll be in the window of being on the 8 ball for a long time in this one.
In goes the 8, and we are level again at 1 each. As it often does, and the players will feel this as well, and never more so than on a finals night. It feels like Monday evening is just hanging on a knife edge.
This format, it really is. It's under such fine lines. You're in the deep end of every match very, very quickly.
Frame 3, John Chambers to break. 1 frame.
John Chambers once again going with that cut break. Makes the ball. Cue ball is safe. How's the split? Don't think it's bad. Don't think it's bad at all. I think yellows are pretty lovely here.
He's on a yellow, he's on a red as well. Yellows look good.
Yeah, reds have just got that ball to the left side rail, which, you know, if you're being picky, you might not like, but...
If you had ball in hand, I think I'd go reds. But the red he would have had to play was off angle. And actually, no. On further review, I'm changing my mind. The yellows are just a delight, aren't they? The connections to go. I was thinking the one he's just played was slightly awkward, but because you're thinking of it from the other side of the table, but he was perfect just to hold on it, and that got him on the gap here, and then the natural connections are just, it's wide open.
Yeah, he's picked out a lovely route pretty quickly there, as John Chambers. Often spoke about his, we talk a lot about Declan's big game sort of presence. Tends to play the best when the lights are the brightest. That's something that John Chambers absolutely characterises about himself as well. Sometimes can struggle to get it going on a back corner table in a busy room where no one's really paying attention. When the cameras are on, when the eyes follow him around the room, he tends to come alive and play his best stuff, just like his opponent here. He's been excellent tonight, John Chambers. Both players have. It's felt like a final.
Brilliant stuff from John, taking out both his breaks. Both left very, very good layouts for him and very clinical with them. Declan will look for a break at the same quality as it was in the semi-final, not the first break here. And it is, but is he going to make a ball? No. Opportunity for John. Good opportunity as well. Just the yellow, red, yellow top right that'll be catching his attention here. Other than that, the yellows are lovely.
Left in the first set.
Yellow can go safe here when he plays this. Oh, that's so good.
He's played that so well, hasn't he?
So good. The control, because if the red goes too far, you could block the 8-ball. The control there, absolutely beautiful, and it's made this layout. Doesn't want to be straight. He looks very, very straight, which is not ideal. The only thing when he played that shot to top right, he just came back and he was a touch short on the ball he wanted to right centre, which took him down the narrow line where there wasn't too much margin on the pace and left himself awkward. And that's why he's too straight here. It's still sort of recovering from where he was previously. Not sure if this is the full pocket or not. It definitely goes, and we saw that when he opened it up. But if it's the full pocket, this is fine. If it's anywhere near half pocket, as I say, it's not the full pocket. This is now missable from distance.
Promise.
That was a good shot. Better shot than it looked.
Thundered it in. This 8-ball for a 3-1 lead for John Boy. In it flies.
Nothing that Declan Brennan can do. All three frames that John has won have all been off the break. One off Declan's, two off his own. And I have to say, Stephen, no matter what happens the rest of the way here, John has played an awful lot better than he did in the final against Tom Cousins on Saturday night, where both of them were struggling, but obviously John You know, in his first final with 𝗏𝗏𝗃𝗏 did not play his best. If there was any hangover from that match, it is absolutely not happened whatsoever.
Yeah, and you can't help but feel a bit pleased for him. He is
100%.
Such a likeable guy, but also you just want a final. Because I'm completely neutral in this equation. You just want a final where both players play well and can feel that they've done their bit and don't feel shortchanged. John certainly did in the final on Saturday night, and he will feel shortchanged by that break right there. But it's not really user error. He's doing what he can.
The bad news here isn't just the in-off, which is very, very unfortunate. It's the quality of the layout and the speed it's going to allow Declan to make the run out here. This isn't going to take Declan more than a minute, leaving plenty of time in the set. Take him long, this layout. He was sitting over pockets for him. What he was looking for. Gets back within one and has the next break with plenty of time left.
Into the section of usually the match on a Monday night, but the set, where everything can hinge and change. You can see right behind Declan there, 3:45 left. In Monday night terms, that can be a very long time. 3-2, race to 4.
Frame 6, Declan Brennan to break, trailing 3 frames.
We may yet get all the frames in. Booming break. Oh, that's tough. Just as John's last break in-off was tough, that equally brutal for Declan Brennan.
His breaks just deserted him here in the final. First break he made a ball and left no layout, and he's dry twice. So got to figure it out somehow.
Simon, we talked about how big this first set was, in particular for John Chambers. This is a massive chance to win this first set. He should do it from here. Work these out pretty nicely. Just needs to be wary of this next cue ball, and in fact he's going to take the tougher, less obvious shot just to be able to do that. And now he's sailing.
Actually thought he was going to go top, then centre, then this one last ball. Saw it the other way around, but it's all very, very nice, isn't it?
Yeah, just landed a bit in between on the last ball there, but super shot up to the top of the table. And this first set is over. And just as he had to do in the semi-final, just as he had to do in last year's final, Declan Brennan, if he is to become Champions League champion once more, will have to do it with a 6-red shootout, because the winner of the first set in the Champions League final is John Chambers. John Chambers is 4 frames away from his first Ultimate Pool title. Declan Brennan is 4 frames away from taking us to another Declan Brennan 6-red shootout.
Change of break for Declan. Didn't work in the first set.
So goes to the cut break. Tries to get something manufactured there. And well,
he's made a ball, but he's got no layout again.
Yeah, it's he's got something. It's not much.
Will he be tempted to pop this and then just bump the red on and weld up behind the 8-ball?
I think he will be now.
I think it's what he's played for.
Oh,
it's a poor shot. It's a very poor shot.
That's a jarringly poor shot. That's as bad a shot as you've seen tonight from Declan Brennan.
Yeah.
Really surprising mistake.
Yeah, and the problem with yellows, I mean, he couldn't take yellows, but the problem with yellows was always going to be the 8-ball, not a great way to open it up. Declan's done that now. These yellows are okay. They're not wide open and super easy, but every yellow's got... Well, every yellow did have a pocket. That was a poor miss from John. Edgy stuff from both here in the second set.
Yeah, been played in a good spirit out there. I'm not sure what John said originally, but Declan responded with cheers, mate. She had a giggle about it. Good to see that they're able to keep their sense of humour under the pump at this stage of the Champions League.
Declan's got to go and deal with the 2 on the left-hand side. The bottom one doesn't pass the top one. The top one's hard to get to and then get to something afterwards, so that's what he's got to deal with.
Looks a little straight on the one he's on now to the bottom left. Don't know if he's got any angle to potentially stun up. Yeah, not much at all.
The plan, I think, was to be straight in left centre. If he gets straight in left centre, he'll feel very comfortable with playing the one to bottom left and getting the cue ball pretty straight on the one that's on the cushion, and then he can just pull it back. Had to be very, very precise, but now that he's off angle, he's going to leave too much angle, so it's sort of all going to get a bit tricky here.
Yeah, may need to play a very, very good shot at some point. Got in the thickest part of the pocket. It's still going to be plan A. He's just going to control this really well. It will be bottom left and then the one up the rail. But there's not a massive gap to be able to get to. And he's played that beautifully.
Little flick helps. I think without the flick on the yellow, he goes too far. He still wanted to be straighter than this. There's a danger that he doesn't get back out. Has to hit this really well. It goes to the bottom right. That changes things. Drops it in. Obviously, it goes to the bottom right. It's wide open, but happy enough to play that short position.
Yeah, you weren't thinking that as plan A, were you, originally? But
it might have been for Declan. It might have been, but obviously, only he'll know.
Terrific shot. Absolutely thundered it in. Just resets. And makes the 8-ball. 1-0 Declan Brennan in set number 2. We feel like we may have been here before.
Yeah, feels like it. I think obviously Declan was hoping to start with a break clearance, but in a strange way, now that he's taken it out the second opportunity and John's missed a bad ball, it's almost it's just a little blow for John there, because that was an opportunity to take a frame off Declan's break and have his break to follow to really kind of get going in the start of set 2 to try and win it in real time.
John's having some fun out there. Now on to game face. Oh, he's dry. Oh, wow. It's a really good cut break to be dry.
Jaws hit all over the place. The reds aren't too challenging at all. Yeah, you've got one on the cushion. Perfect access to it. Perfect access off it. Everything's good here. he will want to pull, if he takes on bottom right now, which I expect him to, he will want to pull it back close to the straight here. If he just stuns it in, he's thin on the red to left centre, and then things can go messy from there. So just forcing it a touch more, but always very precise with his potting. nearly went in the pocket somehow. Almost looks like the cue ball's defying gravity, but you wouldn't believe it could go in at the angle it did, or nearly did. May take the red bottom right following this if he's dead straight. He might top through for the centre. Oh, he's got an angle to punch across anyway if he wants to. A little closer to his work than he wanted. 8-ball goes top right, so no problem here.
Judges cue ball well there. Exactly where it was going. 8-ball waiting. Declan on the march. 2-0 up. Roomsy positive still there for John Chambers. This is a long way from being over. He obviously has the first set in the bag, which gives him margin in this set. Not just, of course, if he loses it, he knows he's got at worst a 6-red shootout, but we know he'll actively be trying to avoid that. It's the opportunity to come back, and he has the draw in the set. That's the sort of big advantage that he'll be clinging to. 2 frames isn't a huge deficit. He knows he can spin that. Declan Brennan back to his cut break. If Declan goes 3-0 up, it may well be a long way back for John. Booming break. How's he split?
Red bounces, it's good, and it has. Yellows are nice here. Yellows are nice, everything goes.
Extension call.
You see the time that Declan's taken there. I mean, the yellows are wide open here, but knows what he's doing. He probably knew which ball he was playing on as soon as they laid out, but then he's just walking around to make sure, because he knows that the shot he plays after this one has to be on a good angle, and he could send himself down a bad path if he doesn't get the angle right. And even for a layout like this, you know, it's just watching one of the best players in the world really be careful at finding the right spot. So many players just get down and start potting balls when they're as good as this, and still got to work the pattern.
Yeah, and one thing you would say, he's got the luxury of time in this set to be able to do that too. He is playing with house money here, Declan Brennan. Halfway through this second set.
He's got to be careful here. He could end up behind a red if he gets it slightly wrong. Yeah, played it very, very well.
Mentioned at the beginning of this frame that it would be difficult for John to come back from 3-0 down, and that's not just because 3 frames, you know, would be very good to win 3 frames in a row. That's not really his problem. Problem is keeping Declan off the table in this kind of mood, because the way Declan's playing, he's only going to need one opportunity to win this set and take us the distance. And John Chambers now has to play flawless and has to hope for a little bit of luck that he can keep Declan off the table, because Declan will get minimum one break.
It's been John's turn for his break just to dry up a little bit, isn't it? Dry break at the start here, and it was at the back end of the last set as well. So he needs to rediscover the break and put in another break clearance. He's made quite a few tonight already. When you think in those terms, he will have 2 of the next 3 breaks. So if he can find that, and he just needs one bit of help from Declan. That's how he's got to think with 9 minutes to play.
Gets a ball. So that's mission 1 completed. And you can just see, top of your picture there, Declan just sit back in his chair and get comfortable. In his mind, he's already written this frame off. He's expecting to break off at 3-1 up, not get to the table in this frame. Anything he gets in this frame is an absolute bonus in his eyes.
Yeah, another great layout. Not the best of results from his first shot. This is actually missable now, but the layout when he first got to the table was, again, wide open.
Oh, this is a very missable shot. Tree topped over that red. That is an excellent pot. Talk about all the benefits and all the sort of things you can do with a small white or a light white, but one of the absolute worst things about it is when you end up there, because you've got to be so precise with that shot when you're queuing directly over, especially in the middle of the table. We saw that in the first match with Declan. It ended up in that foul.
Yeah, a small cue ball does have a massive effect in the game, more than you realise, and that is one of the downsides for sure. Well, this is slightly awkward, because the 8-ball's the only ball that needed, you know, position on it. You know, you want to be fairly straight. You know, there was margin, but fairly straight on the red to top right. And now he's off angle here to get onto that ball. Just a little bit of mileage at the back end.
That's going to hang. And it was all on. A couple of shots before, didn't chain them together. Always say, even on good layouts, you've got to keep playing good shots. As soon as you play a poor one, it can snowball very, very quickly. And he almost missed his shot before, and he does miss that one.
Declan needs 2 or 3 really good cue balls, but the one that's the key will be the transition up for the one at the top of the table. If he leaves the one at the top of the table thin, then it's hard to get on the 8-ball.
Oh, well, you might have to take it now.
Yeah, I was actually thinking when he was getting down on that one, is there an argument to take it early and then you kind of have 2 tracking? I don't think there was, but it's it might have to be now.
Could play the plant. Looks like he's pretty set on that.
The benefit of playing the ball at the top of the table is if you don't make it, you're going to cover the pocket with it, which makes it tricky for John. But he has gone for the plant. Oh, and that cue ball. That cue ball is just exceptional. Got the last cue ball wrong. This time it's perfection.
Yeah, and weirdly, when you've got to go coast to coast, as Declan will here, from north to south, it's not too bad a shot as long as the traffic's clear. You've just got to leave yourself a nice high angle, and there's all the room in the world to land on this 8-ball. He didn't need to keep that yellow up there. It almost could have been a crutch for him. Yeah, you can see here all the room in the world to land on this 8-ball. Declan Brennan could be about to take us to a 6-red shootout again. It's going to keep on rolling. Oh, played to perfection.
Never in doubt. Never in doubt.
John Chambers stares down at the floor. In goes the 8-ball, and Declan Brennan does exactly what he did in his semi-final. He whizzes through set 2, and we go all the way for the 3rd time tonight. A 6-red shootout. We talked about how it might be in play at the start of the night. The odds were pretty good that we'd see 1, but to see 3.
I think this is a massive lag as well. I really do. I mean, John was decided to go second in the first one. I think he's got to go first here. And we'll see what he decides to do, because he's won the lag. Well, he's staying stood up, so I think that suggests he is going to go first. I think he has to, because you know, well, they're both stood up. I don't know what the decision is yet. But we know that Declan is going to set a good time. He is so good at it. No, now John sat down, so he has put Declan in to go here.
Yeah, sometimes I think they're both winding each other up.
The game within the game here.
It's he who goes first to set the time.
Not the greatest of splits. Oh, that could be very tight for a 5-second penalty.
They'll be looking at that very closely. It's still going to be, at least clockwise, a decent time. But so much of this is going to come down to that potential foul. 24 seconds-ish feels like par, but it's a huge question of whether that was a foul. A massive question.
Declan knows. You can tell Declan knows it's a foul. This is going to get called. I think it was pretty clear in real time. Of course, our referees have to get this right. They will monitor it. But you can tell by Declan's reaction, he knows that he's fouled here. He knows this is going to be 29. It's his worst ever 6 red shootout. And it's going to be advantage John Chambers here.
So this shot coming up. I don't think you can say those red stops.
It's very clear. It's very clear. It really is. That will be a 5-second penalty. So it'll be 29, won't it? 29. So
well, roundabouts. We don't know
the exact time. But what we do know is that John had 29, give or take 29 and change, to win the semi-final. If he does the same again here, he'll be the champion.
I can tell you the official time confirmed with the foul is 29. Declan Brennan with a nod. He's just received the news he was expecting to hear. So 24.08 plus 5 means 29.08 for John Chambers to do to Declan Brennan what Declan Brennan did last year and win back-to-back 6 red shootouts and take down the Ultimate Pool Champions League.
He has to go a split second quicker than the semis.
It's a decent break, has to wait for the cue ball. 6 seconds for the first shot, now has to fly.
It's a good layout from here. It's a really good layout for stop shots. Oh, he rolled that too far.
Still okay, has to stop them from here. And he can, it's going to be tight. This pot for the title. And he's nailed it! John Chambers may have just produced an unbelievable pot to win the Champions League. Oh, it's tight.
The decision-making from John there was absolutely fabulous. He was just about to play the ball into the centre pocket, which was going to mean he was going to have to run all the way around the table. He reset himself to take the shot long. That meant he didn't have to move. He could play the next shot almost instantly, and he has won this by a split second. The referees will check for fouls, but he has won this by a split second. Fabulous.
I'm hoping you're right, mate.
Well, I think Declan's shaking his head and said congratulations. John still doesn't know. He's just said, I hope you're right.
And I stuttered at the start.
Oh, the debrief begins. John Chambers still doesn't know. They are checking the replay just to make sure.
This is closer than we think here. I'm hearing in my ear this is closer. This is going to get checked again.
We've got the full crew in here. It couldn't be any closer. They are checking and double checking and triple checking this decision. That is how close it is.
My fear here for John, in real time I thought John had it. I really did. I thought he had it in real time. My worry here for John is the longer this goes on, the worse I fear for him, the worse I fear he's going to lose by a split second here.
And it would be a split second. Remember, the time stops when the red crosses into the pocket.
It is going down to very fine detail here. This is going to be incredibly close. This one is going to be a tough one for John to take if it does go against him. Declan thinks he's lost it.
They need to dramatise it and walk all the way up to us and say, right,
The conversation continues between these two. You've got to feel for them.
Off at the same time.
It's an incredibly difficult decision to make. And as John just joked, what if it's the same time? Do they go again?
I mean, if it's this close, it could be the same timing. It's absolutely, it's down to, this is as close as we have seen in the six red. It really is. And you have to say for both of them, you know, with Declan, if he waits the split second longer and sets 25-50 instead of the foul and doing 29, then he wins it. If John doesn't stutter at the beginning of the six red shootout, he wins by a couple of seconds rather than it being this tight. Both of them will feel like they've made mistakes in the six red shootout here, and it is down to the finest of margins. We are still waiting to find out.
29.44.
Declan Brennan has won the Champions League. 29.44 the time for John Chambers, 29.08 the time for Declan Brennan. It simply could barely have been any closer. John Chambers could not have done any more tonight, and you have to feel for John Boy.
I do, and you can even sense it from Declan as well. He knows that, you know, he felt like he had lost it. He felt like he'd let set too much of a time, and that John had won it in real time. But this is why we have it go down to the, you know, to the absolute nitty-gritty. It is done digitally. It is done absolutely to the finest margin. It had to be checked, triple checked, and checked again. And he has just missed out by the finest of margins. And it is heartbreaking for John Chambers.
But what a result for Declan Brennan. For the second year in a row, he's the Champions League champion. His opponent, though, is putting a performance he can be proud of. We'll hear from them both and the presentations when we come back. Welcome back, everybody, for the final time in the 2025 Ultimate Pool Champions League out here into the main arena. We talk all the time about how this format and this game can be settled by the finest of margins, but I think tonight took that to a bit of a severe extreme. What an incredible final between two fabulous players. Before we get to the presentations, let's hear it for both John Chambers and Declan Brennan, everybody. That was unreal. And let's hear from the runner-up. What a run to his second Ultimate Pool final. An incredible performance throughout. John Chambers, everybody. I knew you couldn't hold that severe face. Yeah. I mean, Penny, for your thoughts, mate. Just an incredible night in so many different ways. You played unbelievably well, and we've had six red shootout hard take before for a lot of players, but I don't think we've ever had one close. So just an incredible night.
Yeah, obviously disappointed, but well done to Dec. Yeah, it's just disappointing, you know. It's winning meant everything. It still does, so I'm just disappointed not to win. But again, I've had another good run. Hopefully I can go one better next time.
Yeah, absolutely. And a performance in a night that's been so difficult, everything is razor tight all the way through. Well, you played some fantastic stuff under there, under the most pressure you'll experience, I'd imagine, on a pool table. Yeah,
I thought I played brilliant, to be honest. I made a couple of mistakes in the second set. You can't do that against Dec, so it gave him, ended up being a bit of a free run at the second set. So I was dreading the six red shootout. I did say I weren't going to do it. I'd rather tip the table up, but Kenny might have not been too happy with that, and live telly as well, so, you know, but yeah.
We appreciate that, mate, and you will be back. Congratulations on a brilliant performance. John Chambers, everybody. And well, we have been here before. I've got a slight sense of deja vu, as 12 months ago Declan Brennan ran through two straight six red shootouts to win the Ultimate Pool Champions League. I, for one, can't believe he's done it again. I doubt he can too. Let's hear from Declan Brennan, everybody. I mean, I mean, what more can you say? I mean, incredible. Not just to do it twice, but to do it in the way that you've done it is unbelievable.
Yeah, well, if Kenny decides to get rid of 6 reds, I'm leaving. Because it's the only way I seem to win. But
imagine telling you that 2 years ago.
Honest to God, I was in tears leaving this place half the time 2 years ago. But it's funny how it all changes, and you know, you have to go through the. You know, as John, like I've been on the receiving end of four losses in finals last year. John's already had 2 finals, but like I'm sure the way he's playing, you know, for his first year on the tour, like he's doing exceptionally well. So fair play to him.
Yeah, here. And in terms of yourself, obviously, we know at this point you back yourself. You've sort of been there and done it in the 6 reds, but that last 6 red wasn't exactly your finest hour, was it? You must have been sweating.
Oh, do you know what? I've knocked in great times for this last numerous times, you know, and then obviously I kind of knew I fouled that time, and I was like, God, and then I knew I'd be looking at Arch, I was like, I fouled, didn't I? So I was like 29, I was like, you know, I expected John to win or beat it, but at the same time, you still have to beat it no matter what time it is, and thankfully, or unfortunately for John, you know, he didn't, but just delighted. It didn't feel like the same buzz I got last week, obviously, because I won in a clear time and I was buzzing, where I actually sort of accepted losing. And then to find out I won, then it feels like a wee bit more of an anticlimax, but still delighted to win.
Yeah, absolutely, and you can never ever sniff at any ultimate pool title, particularly one that's as difficult to win as this. 5 finals last year, you only won 1. You're 2 from 2 this year. It's a slightly better ratio already, isn't it?
That's it, you know, and that goes down to me moving over here to Liverpool, and the McNamara's lads, you know, they're all down here supporting me. And then I've got my sister and her boyfriend Stefan here as well, which is a rare thing, so it makes it a bit more special for me.
Yeah, and a good luck charm tonight, I don't doubt. We're going to let you have your moment, Dec. Congratulations. Going to bring in the Ultimate Pool CEO, Lee Kendall, to make the presentation. Your 2025 Champions League champion, once again, and still, Declan Brennan. What an unbelievable night. Can't quite believe what we've seen this evening. It has been absolutely extraordinary. And while Declan takes in the celebrations and poses for the all-important trophy photographs, we've got to tell you what's coming up next week, and we're plenty excited about this. Same time, same place. Next week, the Ultimate Pool Pairs Cup returns. Josh Kane and Callum Singleton out to defend their trophy, and we'll leave you with this image of Declan the Destroyer, Ultimate Pool Champions League champion once again. Commiserations to John Chambers and to the other 2 brilliant semi-finalists tonight, Eddie Barker and Andrew Patchett. From me, from Simon, from all the team here, we'll see you next week for the Pairs Cup. Good night.